Ladies and gentlemen, now it's Too Late with Alan Mosley.
I looked into what it would cost us to get a band to come out to the live event and like play us in, like for real, like, you know.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Like I've got the sheet music here, guys. Like play us in. We'd come in, you know, do our thing. We're not going to do that.
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, that's more of a next decade kind of a expenditure. Yeah. I think, you know. Yeah. Guys, hey, welcome back for another episode of It's Too Late. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined as always by the ¡1 producer in late night. It's Dave Willimowski. Dave, how are you doing? Dave, how are you doing?
Okay, I got it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm feeling really good right now. I had a big old cup of Fox and Sons coffee right before the show, and I think it's hitting just right. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it is. All right.
How you doing, Alan?
I'm tired. I'm worn out. This is one of those weeks where it feels today has those Friday vibes Like, this is it. This is the big end of the week. We got the show.
Got through it.
We're gonna tonight's gonna be a 10. It's a banger. Got a great guest tonight. We're gonna leave the audience. You got to leave them wanting more, but they're gonna be satisfied, I think. Yeah. And then we're gonna go, like, we're gonna give each other a pat on the back, say, hey, great show. See you next week, buddy. And then you're gonna go to bed, and then you're gonna wake up to enjoy your Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Except it's Thursday.
Frickin' Thursdays.
Yeah. Heckin' Thursdays. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. So, I heard from some of our sponsors over this past weekend, and the consensus is we need to dial back some of the language and themes on the show.
Really?
Like, they have brands and like identities to think about, and they're saying, like, guys, if we're gonna support this program, and you're directing traffic, like, we don't want to be represented with some of that dirty talk and stuff that so no, none of that now, okay?
No.
Yeah, like, if you feel the urge, like, if there's some politician doing something bad, you say, oh, you heckin' feck,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
even that's borderline, yeah. All right. So that we'll revisit that later in the show. Okay. But speaking of that, we've only got like a few episodes left before everyone's going to be here in Columbia, Tennessee for the 5th annual It's Too Late live show, coming to you June 3rd. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, we're screwed. All right. So I'm actually paying for the event like this week, and it costs money. So the tickets are free. I don't want to scare you. The tickets are free. You can RSVP. There's still time. We're going to continue to take RSVPs, even though we've sort of kind of planned for a certain number. So it's kind of like, if we get a few more people, that's not fine. If we get a lot more people, you'll just have to, I don't know. There's a Wendy's down the street. Like, like when we're done where we're at, we'll go out there and yeah, it'll be like a drive-by thing. Like, you can come get Dave's autograph from the Suburban, and then
I ain't hanging around outside. I heard it might be warm.
Oh yeah, boy, it's gonna be hot. So you got to get your tickets. Which I think the link's right over there in chat and in the show notes down below, that I don't think anyone's ever read in the history of this program. But you can get your tickets. Also consider donating to, if you want to support the show and the event, but you can't make it this year, consider clicking on that PayPal link over there and get out your Sears card, type in 999-9999, and just see what happens.
Yeah, it might work.
Yeah. There's still a Sears somewhere, right?
Maybe they have a website.
Isn't that a song? Like, it's always Sears o'clock somewhere. I don't know. Did you know that I actually worked at a Sears for like a month? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. See, that we're in the monologue of a serious television show, and we're like, I'm off the rails already. We haven't even made it past the first note.
Well, this is important content.
Yeah, it is. No.
You got to get this out.
Speaking of important content, we're like the only late night show right now. Did you know that? Yeah, because all of our contemporaries are not doing shows because there's a writer's strike.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a writer's strike. So, Colbert and Fallon and all those hard-hitting entertainers who dance with people dressed as giant syringes, they're not on TV right now. But we are.
We should capitalize on this.
Yeah. A writer's strike doesn't affect us. You know why?
I know why.
Yeah. Well, keep it to yourself. No. Yeah, keep it. Actor Robert De Niro is in the news. Do we have a picture of Robert De Niro?
Yeah, here. I found this one.
Yeah. Things aren't going well for him.
Amazing actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. He's on America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. It was recently announced that Robert De Niro has welcomed his 7th child into the world at the age of 79 years old.
My goodness.
Yeah, right?
What?
Yeah, right? Could you even imagine?
No.
Yeah. So 7th kid, I mean, he has other children that are still young, by the way. Like, he has a daughter that's 11 and he's 79. But now he's got a newborn at 79 years old, which got me to thinking, here's some of the lovely activities he and his newborn can look forward to in the next few years. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Grow up so quick.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dave,
need to outsource that.
What do you think about this whole trend of everything being a remake? Like, there's all the comic book movies and the superhero movies, but the other thing is everything's a remake. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's rare that they ever improve upon the original.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, how many ideas are out there? I mean, I know there's always new ones, but
now, to make matters worse, there's a new contender, and it's the sequel to a movie that's several decades old. Case in point, the one I'll tell you right now. Did you know that they're making a Beetlejuice 2?
I did not know that.
Beetlejuice 2. So take a look at this. News that Beetlejuice 2 will be hitting theaters, featuring the original cast members, including Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice and Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz. But joining them will be actress Jenna Ortega, which you can see right here, who's coming off of her recent appearance as Wednesday Addams on the Netflix series about the Addams family cast member. There's Jenna. Boy, tell you what, doesn't she, let's say that again.
Okay.
Every time I see her, I always think to myself, no, stepsister, what if our parents find out? Like...
Oh. Yeah. How old is she?
It's... First of all... And second of all... Okay, no, she's of a... No. Okay, first of all, she's 20. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. Which that's enough.
I had no idea, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you. But you know the thing that actually makes me upset though is that they're honest to God calling, like, you've already got the movie poster out and it's Beetlejuice 2. That's the movie, it's Beetlejuice 2.
Okay.
Haven't they missed at a great opportunity to call the movie Beetlejuice?
Oh, and then when the third one comes out, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. Think how much better that would have been.
Yeah.
It's like Peepsy all over again.
Yeah, why aren't people hiring us?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's a strike going on right now. We'll work. We'll do it. Yeah. We'll work for whatever those bullshitters are working for, we'll work for a reasonable sum, but less. Yeah. I mean, this guy works for beans, for God's sakes. Yeah. In political news, Massachusetts Representative Seth Moulton is making headlines tonight. Do we have a picture of... Yeah. Oh, there he is. Lizard people.
I've seen that guy. Yeah.
Representative Moulton made quite a statement recently in regards to tensions between China and Taiwan. Take a look at his statement right here. He said, quote, "The U.S. should warn China that it would blow up the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company if it attacked Taiwan."
That guy's a psychopath.
What an amazing message this is. Now you listen to this, China. If you attack Taiwan, we'll help. Right?
I guess.
Yeah. Take that, Taiwan,
Yeah.
But before we take our first commercial break, got some exciting news. Now, you guys know that we love Fox & Sons coffee on this program, but did you know that Fox & Sons has actually cooked up some new flavors? Take a look right there. Just in time for Mother's Day. How about that? Introducing new single source specialty roasts. How about the Brazil Honey Prep? Or the Tanzania Pea Berry?
Those sound exciting and scary.
A little scary, but you know what? I can appreciate that, like, the colors on the logos are like similar to the flags of the nations. Because Fox & Sons is personable on top of being excellent coffee. Yeah. Oh. It's like a you gotta try them all type of thing. Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I don't think you can say that on here. We'll get dinged. It's
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that that's an entire show that's based on like a kid turns 8 years old, so their mother gives them a rat and says, "Go outside and fight strangers."
Oh, that's
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah. Now you can't unknow that. Yeah, off you go. Yeah, it's kind of like the Spartans, but with animals. Like it's time to be a man.
Go prove yourself.
Yeah. What I've never understood is maybe I never actually watched this godforsaken show, so excuse me, but why don't they just use these animals as like weapons of mass destruction? Like that's a WMD right there, just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pack them full of dynamite and send them on their way.
Well, I think
you can get another one.
Okay, so first of all, I think that they have powers already. You don't have to. Like if you're just gonna tie a vest to them, you can just do that. With a little Muslim kid. You don't have to do that with a super powered circus creature.
Oh,
yeah. Just get another one. Jesus Christ! This is why you don't name them. That's why you don't name them, because they're just little gladiators. They're not. Yeah. They're not for loving. They're fine. What happened to this show already?
I don't know. I think we forgot we were doing a show.
Yeah, and we have a guest and everything. We're way off the road. So anyway, guys, let me tell you, Fox and Sons Coffee, which you can find at foxandsons.com. If you use promo code ITL, you get 18% off your orders of $25 or more. Shipping is always free for orders over $37.99. That's foxandsons.com. I've got the Den Blend Light right here. I know you've been drinking a bunch. What are you drinking?
Yeah. I got. Oh wait, I got the
What the hell is that?
That's the Zoom.
Yeah.
I was ready to zoom in on you. You held up the thing. No, yeah. I got a lot. He keeps sending me coffee, so I've been drinking the Den Blend Dark, which I left upstairs, but I have that huge bag. I think I showed off last week, and we still have some Boogaloo. Mary likes the light. We got some more Den Blend Light.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So Mary likes light skinned beans and you like dark skinned beans.
Yeah, but you know.
All right, that's fine. But what's Jenna Ortega? Like it looks like, but you hear Ortega and you're, I don't know.
I thought that was an actress. What is it?
Guys, we're going to be back with the meme of the week and the viewer mail right after this commercial break. Don't go away. I broke my cookie. I don't know if the fortune will come true now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Simplicity of character is the natural result of profound thought.
Wow. I don't even know what that means.
I think they're saying that you're a basic bitch, but you know, but yeah, good on you. Yeah. I think that's what that means. I don't know. They're all commies anyway, right? It doesn't matter. Oh my God. I actually met a woman today whose name was Marx. M-A-R-X.
Really?
Yes. Her last name was Marx.
But it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
No, Norm! You can't use language like that on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Norm. Yeah.
Trying to clean it up.
Oh, Norm. How could you do this? Hey, Dave.
Yes, Alan.
What time is it?
It's time for meme of the week.
Oh, no.
They're waking up. I didn't see that coming.
Again, the people who listen to the podcast, you know, like they're just listening to the music. Like, you know, let's do a polka. You know, they're not.
That took a hard turn.
Yeah. But we do have a bonus meme. Check out the bonus meme. Boy, what a week. Wait, it's Wednesday.
Oh. Yep. You got that Wednesday vibe going on right now.
Let's never do that again. That's awful.
Yeah, that was.
But let me tell you about one of tonight's other sponsors, which is Patcrest Botanicals, which you can find at patcrestbotanicals.com. If you use promo code It's Too Late, all one word, It's Too Late, you get 30% off your order.
You got to be kidding me.
I don't know. Does it still work? Does anyone know?
I think Mary just bought some. Yeah, because I just got some new stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So, 30%
Yeah,
off.
it does work.
Yeah. I actually have some right here. This is the Blue Dream 2000. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Take a look at that. See, if Trump had used this, then there wouldn't have been an accuser. This is a love potion from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
See,
potion.
you gotta be up on the lore, otherwise it's just
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
There's a bunch of people in chat that
anymore.
Okay, hold on. We got a quick pause before we introduce tonight's guest. A bunch of people in chat want to see the meme again, because.
Oh, did they look away?
Yeah.
It was quick.
All right, let's try it again. Hey, Dave.
Oh, we're doing a meme of the week.
Okay. Come on, guys. Dave doesn't even listen to anything I say. It's fine.
Okay, so that's epoxy.
Mm-hmm. And if you put flies in the fridge, they kind of like get knocked out. Yeah. And so now the two flies are glued to the plane. Yeah.
Oh, there they go. There they go. Wow.
All right. Before we launch into the viewer mail, guys, I am pleased to announce that our good friend and the host of Talking Trash, Derek T, is joining us on the show tonight. Derek, how's it going, buddy?
Oh wait,
yeah, you've got what the hell? Wait, no, Derek. I'm sorry, Derek. Mute your mic again. Me and Dave had to talk for a minute. Dave. All right, so Danny, who runs Tennessee Hot Sauce, who's one of our great sponsors. First, you call him a fag, and now I am bringing my friends on the show to be guests, and you laugh in their face.
The button says laugh applause, and like I couldn't remember. I thought it was more applause heavy.
Well, God knows this show's not laugh heavy, so
no.
Yeah,
I mean, it has its moments.
All right. So anyway, hey, Derek. Hey, Derek, how's it going, buddy?
All right. Ready for another exciting episode. I feel like I'm going to learn stuff from like people who know stuff about things. I haven't really been keeping up on the news, but your memes of the week really keep me updated.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is really bad news for me to hear, because when I bring guests on, they're supposed to teach the audience stuff and keep the audience up to date. So I feel like we might have got our wires crossed. But in the meantime, let's answer some viewer mail. Our first question comes from Andrew Avery, who writes, Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, if King Charles's ears are a 10, is his core an 8?
Core? Like his abdomen?
Like coronate, like you coronate the new king.
Oh, they did that thing, yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to give Andrew a piece of your mind, like you'll be able to do that live at the 5th annual It's Too Late live event going on in June 3rd. Wait. Yeah, like he'll be there, and you can tell him what you think about
doing a full set.
Yeah, he is. I think he's doing a full set. Keith McQuarrie, and actually, I'm positive that King Charles's core is not an 8.
No.
Yeah, you don't keep good abs raping children. Keith McQuarrie writes, "Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, what is your favorite restaurant mascot?" Derek, what is your favorite restaurant mascot?
Oh, shoot. I guess the Chuck E. Cheese one, because, like, he's not alive anymore, right?
Wait, isn't it like a mouse or a rat or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't get me if he's dead. So that was my hope. They actually had a war on rats in Alberta, Canada, where like there's like a rat invasion coming in, and so they have this perimeter set up to like stop the rats from coming in there. True history.
That's awesome.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Okay.
Isn't it weird? Like, what is it with restaurants having like rats as a mascot? Like, wouldn't you think
that
that's
doesn't
something
seem like a good
that's
idea.
not imagery you want with a restaurant?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Chuck's just walking around pissing and
yeah, he's unclean. Yeah, he's just walking around pissing. All right, Dave, do you have one? You got a favorite? You got a favorite mascot, Dave?
I don't know. The first one that pops in my head is Grimace from McDonald's. For some reason, like I always liked him. Maybe he's big, goofy guy. I don't know why.
Yeah, you want to talk about mascots that aren't alive, and like, there's no way Grimace has made it at this point.
No,
like, he had to have lost his feet from diabetes. Had to, you know.
He was just eating the apple pies.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say I was gonna stay with pizza, but I was gonna say Little Caesars because the Little Caesars.
Oh yeah.
But I actually like the little pizza. You know.
Do you remember when it was pizza? Like if you bought a pizza, you got 2 pizzas. That's all they sold was 2 pizzas, and it came in the long cardboard thing with the paper sheath.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kids don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even know pizza.
We'll have to do that pizza tier list where we have all the pizza, but it'll have to come after Taco Bell because we're kind of committed at this point.
Oh yeah.
Assuming we survive that one, then we'll do some more. David Wilimowski writes, "Dear Alan and Dad, Lowe's or Home Depot?" Derek, Lowe's or Home Depot?
Ooh, that's a whichever one's on sale. No, I would say Home Depot, slightly better. Yeah.
Okay. Dave, Lowe's or Home Depot?
Oh, yeah, Lowe's. I always go to Lowe's. We have a Home Depot, but I think I've been in there once. It just doesn't Lowe's makes me feel better.
Okay, well, I guess that makes me the tiebreaker then, because we have one Home Depot and one Lowe's. I actually worked at Lowe's for a couple of years.
I heard it's a great place to work for.
I mean, you know, like I'd
calm
down on that, but yeah. I actually am going to say Lowe's as well. I think so. I don't know. I'm basing that entirely on I like the color blue.
Yeah, the orange is kind of alarming.
Yeah, you walk in there and you're alarmed. Yeah,
it's just uncomfortable.
Your defensive mechanisms are going off when you go to Home Depot, which is correct. That's the right thing to do. Yeah. Lyle Durio writes, "Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, what is it like being a famous TV show host?" Hey, Derek, what's it like being a famous TV show host?
What? I'll let you know if it ever happens. Like, pretty much I've given up on success at this point.
Yeah, that's the only way to be.
Enough.
Yeah. And it's not one of these cool things either where once you've given up, it'll happen. No, it's never going to happen. You just give up.
Nope.
Yeah, this isn't a fairy tale. Are you freaking kidding? Yeah. What about you, Dave? What's it like being a famous TV show host?
It's actually kind of cool that question was asked earlier in the week. He didn't know who was going to be here, and it ends up being 3 famous TV show hosts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. Like people talk to you and they're like, I know you expect me to be impressed by you, but I know you're just a normal person. I'm like, yeah, I'm just a normal person, just like you. I mean, yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm just a normal person, just like you. Also, don't ever fucking speak to me again.
Yeah, and please don't look me in the eyes. I don't like that.
Yeah, I just see red, bro. Yeah. All right. Brian Johnson writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what is wrong with this show? Like,
it's
like
nuts tonight."
Yeah, it is nuts tonight. Derek, you've done something. Brian Johnson writes, "Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, do you have any siblings? If so, are they older, younger? Are you close to them, or are you all off doing your own things?" Hey, Derek, do you have any siblings?
It's a yes to all of that. I have older, younger, some of them in town, some of them out of town, none in prison yet. So yeah, it's a pretty good mix.
Wow. How many siblings?
4.
Okay.
Wow.
So I got 1 older brother, 2 younger brothers, and of course, the Warner sister, Dot.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah. It was a little weird though that you had to think for a second about how many there were. That's a bit Home Depot. Yeah.
I'm like the second out of 5, and I have to like construct a chart. Like I'm old enough. If somebody asks me how old I am, I have to like do math. You know?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, just real quick. Swole Keesley says, "I shook Dave and Alan's hand with the same hand I masturbate with." See, that's why I tell people not to speak to me anymore. That's it. Yeah, that's why.
Don't touch.
That is exactly why when you guys get here June 3rd, Dave's gonna roll in a TV on a cart and it's gonna have a pre-produced message from me saying thanks you all for coming, and that's it.
CRT in our schools.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dave, you have any siblings?
Yeah, I'm the middle child. I have an older sister and a younger brother, and I think we're pretty much 3 years apart. So
okay.
Boom, boom, boom. It's almost like it was planned out.
Close or all hate each other?
Me and my sister are cool. Me and my brother are cool in small doses. We can't spend too much time together because then, we'll end up getting all brothers again and fighting. But yeah, we're cool the way we are now.
Okay. I have one brother, Alex and Alan.
Oh,
we're the 2 Mosley boys. We used to ride around in a Dodge Charger, fighting the cops. We don't do that anymore.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did it have the stars and bars on it?
Of course.
Fancy horn.
Yeah, and on both of our ass cheeks. He's older. He's 40. Actually, oh my God, today's his birthday.
Dude, today's my brother's birthday.
Are you shitting me?
I am not.
Shut your fucking mouth. No.
I work with him, and I forgot to go over and say happy birthday to him. So, yeah.
May 10th.
Yep.
How old is he?
Okay, what am I? How old am I? Am I 40? He's 40, I think. 40. 41, okay. Mary says.
All right, Alex is 43. If they'd been the same age, that'd have been
weird.
Yeah. Alex just turned 43 today, which is effectively dead plus 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Alex and John.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Isn't that nice? If it wasn't for Brian, neither Dave nor I would know that we had brothers, where they are, how old they were, or if we gave a shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we do. Kind of. Ryan Seifert writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, boxers or briefs?" Derek, boxers or briefs?
I'm leaning toward the boxer briefs lately.
Okay.
But I've done both.
Oh, have you?
Oh.
Many times, yes.
What about you, Dave? Boxers or briefs? And have you done both?
I never really liked boxers. I mean, right now, I'm wearing hold on.
Whoa! Oh! Hey!
No, boxer briefs. I wear boxer briefs. I like them because they start out usually like pretty snug, like a brief, like they're holding you nicely, and then as the day goes on, they kind of turn it into boxers. They loosen up and you get let the boys breathe a little.
Are you a
Homosexual!
I only wear tidy whities.
No, white underwear is a conspiracy.
Well, actually, they're not white. They're gray and black, but they're, everything has its place. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It all tucks in and.
Oh my God! Today I was running late and I jumped in my car and I sat wrong and I needed a minute.
Oh, you did that thing.
Yeah, I needed some time to myself.
Yeah.
To
just breathe and reflect.
Yeah. All right. And finally, Mary Lynn Wilimowski writes, "Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, have you ever had an ingrown toenail?" Derek, have you ever had an ingrown toenail?
No, I don't think so. I've had toenails rip off though, but they grew back properly.
Ooh. Okay. Dave, what about you?
Well, yeah, just like Derek. I can't remember if I've ever had an ingrown one real bad. Like I've had it kind of dig in and be sore, but nothing too bad. But yeah, same thing. My dad let me hold his gun one time, and I dropped it on my toe, and my toenail fell off. So that was exciting.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. That was a 3.7.
Yeah. I actually did have an ingrown toenail when I was 11 or 12, something like that. Like 12, maybe 13. I had an ingrown toenail, and I actually had to go to a doctor where it was actually really fascinating. So they shoot you up full of painkillers. They use 4 really long needles, and this is a true story. Because I was interested in being a doctor. And so I had said to the people, "Hey, can I watch the procedure?" And the doctor was actually really cool. Instead of having me like up on a chair or something with my foot propped up, he actually just had me sit in a regular chair, and he actually got down on one knee and did the procedure.
Wow.
So that I could watch him work. Yeah. This is also when I learned that I have like a really high tolerance for like pain and stuff, because I was just like, yeah, whatever. You're just cutting out parts of my flesh. It's no big deal. So first the nurse comes in, and they take these 4 long needles, and they put the needle, actually, you can see the needle poking out the other side of your toe. And then they pull it back in and inject the painkiller. Yeah. Yeah, you're just like, oh, hi there,
Lost a large part of the audience.
Yeah, and then after those 4 injections, then the doctor comes in, and he has 2 tools. One is like a giant pair of cleavers, and the other one I can... Do you know what those little watermelon scoopers are? Like those little bitty scoopers, that you can make little scooped out balls of watermelon,
Yeah, melon baller.
It was that, but small and metal, and they used that on my person.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. You're like, oh, what's that for? Oh. Yeah. I would be the worst person to torture. Like they would come in with the tool and not, oh, what's that now?
Oh, that's clever.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're driving at. Yeah. It was unpleasant. And finally, Aaron Kittner writes, "Dear Alan and Dave and Derek, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Jesus Christ, Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
Derek, 10 years?
Alive? Not in the gulag yet, so I'm optimistic. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
White-pilled.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? 10 years.
Well, you actually scared me earlier in the show, because when you said about getting a band, and you said that's like a decade from now, money, and I'm like, 10 years from now, we're still going to be doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh. Don't forget.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I hope for that. I hope I'm still in the same position where, well, maybe a little better off, but doing the shows, hanging out with our friends, having fun. Yeah. Still alive, like Derek said, that'd be good.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you're telling me today that I'm going to be in the same position 10 years from now, I will blow my fucking brains out tonight in the after party.
Could we take a different bet? let's do like a suicide pact.
Oh.
Like if none of us become successful in 5 years, just.
Well,
Yeah.
Dave and I have already entered into a tontine. So Dave and I are already in a death pact where the last of us alive gets the big chunk of the Fox and Sons coffee beans that we have buried.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I have a reason
That's
to
a
live.
good prize.
Yeah. You got to stay alive. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's all the questions.
Mhm.
So better get on with it. Oh, Celeste is here. Celeste, boy, you're in for a weird show tonight. Guys, we're going to be back to talk about some recent events and some topics that Derek feels qualified to answer questions about right after this commercial break. Right. Your ad could be playing right now, reaching thousands of potential customers. Sadly, it's not, but it could be. Find out how to be an advertised sponsor for It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Email us at info@alanmosley.tv. All right.
Okay.
Guys, let me tell you about tonight's last sponsor, which is the Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, which you can find at tnhotsauceco.com. If you use promo code It's Too Late, all one word, It's Too Late, you get, what do they get?
10? Aaron?
I don't know. Yeah, this is Aaron's job. If he doesn't,
awkward.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's 10%. I don't know.
It's,
Yeah. Anyway,
just go there and punch it in and see what happens.
yeah, just put it. Yeah, you'll get something. Although
Yeah,
they'll
it's
get
better
it to
than
you.
not.
Yeah. This is, oh my God, this is actually a different flavor. Check this out. This is a new flavor. This is the honey habanero.
Oh,
Yeah, look at that.
that sounds good.
Check this out. On the personable and problematic meter, it's literally right in the middle.
Just like us.
Yeah, it's the eternal struggle between KYS and KMS is playing out in real time, right here in the honey habanero.
And on
It could go either way. Who knows? You know. Which, I mean, I feel like people who have known me long enough know that's kind of how they feel.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like either way at this point. Yeah.
Depends on how the day's going.
So anyway, that's Tennessee Hot Sauce Company, which you can find at tnhotsauceco.com. Use promo code
10%.
It's Too Late. Yeah, there you go. Where was that, Aaron? Jesus. All right. I'm just kidding.
Really dropped the ball there.
Yeah. Well, he was stressing because he thought I wasn't going to read his viewer mail that he submitted only 42 minutes ago, aka too late. And so I had to refresh the viewer mail to get Aaron's question. That's what happened. Did you guys know we have a guest tonight? Yeah. We have a guest
On
tonight.
here?
Yeah. Our guest this evening is the host of Talking Trashed, and apparently he's also an executive producer of like 50 different movies and TV shows, but I'm not sure if you're able to say that on air without getting a little pop from the platforms that he streams on. But our good friend Derek T is on the show this evening. Derek, how's it going, buddy?
Hello. Great to be here as the TV expert, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yes.
You are the TV expert. That's exactly right. Well, Derek, I wanted you to be here with us tonight because we were going to kind of do a little bit of a potpourri episode where we had a few different topics in the news that we were just going to kind of bat around and talk about a little bit, but also want to make sure we save time to ask you about a couple of things that I know you have researched and talk about all the time that I think our audience would be interested in. Or we just talk about your favorite episode of Gilmore Girls. It's yeah, I don't know. All right.
No,
so
the thing about it's just the thing about my nature is if you're someone who's, let's say, pretty much leaning toward the autistic spectrum. I just get obsessed with topics and I'll go in and delve into. So one day it's a TV show that greatly annoys Alan. The next day it's a different TV show and a different topic, a different programming language. So it's just in my nature to dig into stuff. So I kind of have like these intermittent spikes of knowledge on topics, and then I'm a complete moron on others. So listen at your own risk, people.
Well, that's a very humble answer to give, but there's one thing that I really try to impress upon people, and it's something that I got from the book The Case Against Education that was written by our good friend Brian Kaplan, who's been on this show. And one of the things he talks about in that book, when he's trying to illustrate the signaling model of education versus if you actually are getting, actionable job skills, if you're paying more money to get higher degrees, is he talks about the fact that most people are really unintelligent about most things. Now, he uses nicer language than I would use. I say most people are unbelievably stupid at most things, which is true. But he doesn't say those words. But the point he's making is that but basically everyone is, unless it's in their area of expertise. And even if you, so one of the data points he has in the book is that even if you control for some of the brightest young minds in academic fields. So he says, take chemistry majors and engineering students. So chemistry majors and engineering students, they do a ton of math. They tend to have really high IQs, tend to make good grades. They're getting into the best schools. Those are people like, just for lack of having a control group, these are smart people. Like, you can't be an engineering student or a chemistry major and not be able to read and write. Even controlling, so we're not controlling for 8-year-olds, even controlling for chemistry majors and engineering students, they fail 6th grade civics tests. Of course, they can do calculus, they can do trigonometry. Yeah. They would fail a 6th grade test in social studies or civics, on average. The point being is not that I'm saying that they're stupid. It's that most people know very little outside of their own area of expertise. And so the point I'm making, Derek, is to say that if you have particular interests that you have researched, that you know a great deal about, and then you say, oh, but I don't know about all of these other things. Well, that's normal. It would be incredibly weird for you to have even an intermediary knowledge about more than a few things.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
Yeah, so take that.
The thing is, though, a lot of times my area of knowledge has absolutely zero to do with my career too. But I'm okay with that. To me, that's a good balance, because I never saw myself I would like to retire in the sense that I don't have to go to a specific job that isn't the most fun thing all day. It's just, if I didn't have that, it would free up time to go off and study all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, that's the type I am, where it's just, if it's fun looking into stuff, even if it has nothing to do with my career or anything, then that's a worthwhile way of spending my time. Instead of learning how to play a fake instrument on Guitar Hero, I could learn an actual skill. Suzanne Sherman has the Lost Frontier Handbook back there. If you look into that stuff, you can learn how to make your own gunpowder, people, which I would highly recommend.
Oh, yes. By the way, you can ask Suzanne herself, because she will be here June 3rd. Yeah, after Andrew goes on and does his set, Suzanne's going to come in and mix up some gunpowder for us.
We'll do some canning.
Yeah, we're going to do some canning. That's right. So, well, since we've already opened up that can of worms, I'm going to skip all this pre-prepared crap for right now. One of the topics that I know you and our good friend Andrew Avery talk about all the time, you guys are always talking about financial and economic matters. And one of the hot topics that's kind of been in the news recently is this whole BRICS thing, and all these different countries that are making moves to move away from the US dollar as the reserve currency. Yeah, yeah. Is right. And of course, for people, there's a lot of people that they see that stuff in the news. There's 15 seconds of economic news on CNN. They see BRICS, they see reserve currency. Their mind is already turned off. And I think what a lot of people would say, I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate for a second, then I'm going to hand you the floor. There's the Peter Schiffs of the world who. One of the biggest criticisms of someone like a Peter Schiff is that people say that he's kind of like a perma bear. It's always doom and gloom. The sky is always falling. It's always the system's built on a house of cards. It's always that the crash is coming. But the tough thing about the system, and I see you nodding your head, is if you always managed your affairs assuming the crash is tomorrow, you're actually going to miss out on a lot of opportunity. On the other hand, there may be dark times ahead. So how do you even begin to broach that subject?
Oh, great question. And I'll get into the headlines and stuff in a second. But this is what, like, I started casually paying attention to finance like about 10 years ago. And then it's just like there's like this drumbeat where things are getting more and more serious. And think about how hard you worked to get like your whole life savings and stuff. And I mean, even if I'm not the foremost expert on a lot of these topics, I can at least point you to like a good one on this topic. My favorite on this BRICS issue being Brent Johnson. And he actually has like sort of a show that you can watch on this. He is the creator of the dollar milkshake theory. And anyway, I heard him recently say that he's been in this career for like 25 plus years, and this is the most challenging time for him to invest. So the problems you just brought up are spot on, because a lot of people just think it's this basic thing like company X does something cool, therefore investing in company X is a good idea. And there's so many pitfalls. One of them is the one you mentioned where, yes, ultimately the dollar system is going to come down like a house of cards. But until it doesn't, you have to like invest accordingly or you're just going to get slaughtered out there. And so that's why progressively my interest in finance has gotten higher and higher and higher, because it's a more and more difficult situation to even invest in the first place. And the other mistake I think people make is bringing their politics into it. Like, do I think it's a good idea that the central banks, the US being a major one, and then the rest of the world, that they keep printing money like crazy? Is that good, sound strategy? No. But I also know that they're going to keep doing it. And they are so good at like sticking duct tape on the system and sticking on another Band-Aid. So just because something inevitably will happen, that someday there's going to be a collapse, doesn't like it. Basically, the people that I trust on this topic have said maybe in our lifetime we could start to see like a segmentation of alternatives to the US dollar. But guys, like here's a rabbit hole to look into. It's called the Euro dollar system. Nothing to do with euros and the currency of EU, but it's basically a US dollar held outside the country, or a claim to a US dollar. And you can go almost anywhere in the world. Brent Johnson's been to like 88 countries or so. And like only one time has he asked someone if they'd accept US dollars and they said no.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know that a lot of people in our social circles, which these are all big free market people, right? Is that, well, if we just got back to the free market, then X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, to your point, well, okay, like what is the free market? If your definition of the free market is only completely 100% unfettered capitalism, well, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist anywhere in the world. It certainly doesn't exist in the United States. Now, is the system that the United States currently employ, is it better than Venezuela? Well, sure, it's better than Venezuela, but it's not pure by any realistic sense. And so but vice versa, if you're going to be one of these people who acts like, well, this is America is it's just socialism. That's all this is. This is just a socialist economy, and I hate commies, and therefore, I'm just going to detach. It's like, well, good luck, right? But more power to you. If that's how you feel about it, and you're going to liquidate everything you have, and you're going to put it in freaking Bitcoin or whatever, and you're going to live completely outside of the system, I admire your gusto. I hope it works out for you. But not only is 99.9% of people not prepared to do that in just purely in a financial security situation, but I think that at a bare minimum, life will, even if the crash happens and someone with that attitude feels vindicated because life gets easier for them from that point forward. Life's going to be really hard for them from now up until then, because the world just doesn't revolve that way.
And by the way, you can do this if you believe that BRICS system is just suddenly going to take hold and replace the US dollar. You can go buy the Chinese yuan or Russian rubles or India's rupees. You can go out there, do it right now. Like, it's possible to do so, but there are a lot of problems with it. And we'll get to headlines in this. Now, here's the best quote I found. There's a gentleman called Michael Every, and he basically said for this BRICS, and by the way, it's what is it, like Britain? No, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and something else for BRICS. But basically, he said, ultimately, for that BRICS alternative to the US dollar to work, the world would have to be comfortable aspiring to retire in China and store its money in Moscow. Right. So there's sort of this financial imbalance where the people you would have to trust to make this happen, it's just kind of preposterous. There isn't a replacement yet. And one thing you got to ask yourself, to quote Brent Johnson, is when you see all this barrage of headlines coming out talking about the dollar alternative or whatever, just pretend it's October, right before the election, where all of a sudden this news comes out. The two questions are, why am I hearing this? And why am I hearing it right now?
Yes.
And when you hear these coordinated narratives, like, it's just astounding to me. There are some people that just never think where news comes from. Like, they just sit there like, they're like, well, he shouldn't have said that, so that's bad. It never would have happened if he didn't say that in the first place with some, celebrity scandal. And it's like, well, hold on. Isn't that weird that somebody had this information for like decades or more, and then all of a sudden you're hearing this now? I mean, I don't know. Some people just never connect the dots.
Well, and of course, I know, goodness knows that election season is right around the corner, and we're not gonna we're not even gonna get into that whole ball of wax. But I know that because it is election season, and those are such interesting questions to ask yourself when you hear something. Why am I hearing this, and why am I hearing it now? One of my big pet peeves, I was actually just telling our friend Suzanne this earlier today, is I've gotten to where bells start to go off in my head whenever anyone kind of paints themselves as the reform candidate. What came up in conversation in particular was Robert F. Kennedy. Everyone's talking about RFK Jr. because, he's going to challenge Joe Biden, and he's an old school Democrat who's a more classically liberal, all this BS buzzwords. First of all, he's just a commie like the rest of them. But that being neither here nor there, he's, for anything he says that might be good, for any topic that he may be better on than, say, Hillary Clinton or Mitt Romney. And it's not that there's not some, there are. He also paints himself as the reform candidate. There was one tweet in particular that I saw from him just recently where he was talking about, because he was talking about his uncle, talking about JFK, and he believes the CIA murdered President Kennedy and his uncle. And I know, right? Big shocker there. Sorry for the spoilers, guys. But as someone who knows, doesn't think, knows that there are absolute evil, terrible monsters in the system, his answer to that was, so we need to reform the CIA. Reform? reform.
I can fix him.
Yeah, I can fix it. Yeah, I can fix her.
Yeah.
So you would think of all people, someone like him not only should know that that's great. Let's talk shit about the CIA. Let's get rid of it. It's an abomination. But for him to be so naive to think it can be reformed, it reminds me of my popular quote: Leviathan's not interested in reform. Reform will not be taking place. And this guy thinks he's going to reform it.
I think you have found the perfect metaphor of government. It's like when you see the mugshot of some person that did some reprehensible thing, and then you're like, yeah, but she's kind of hot. I could probably fix her. Like, that is fighting government with government. Like, I think you've nailed it. And remind me again, wasn't there a president who tried to stand up to the nation state before? Huh. I wonder which Kennedy that was.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's just, and I know like people like him because he's been good on COVID and the jab and all that stuff, which to be fair, he's good on it now. He wasn't good on it in the beginning. And frankly, it's how people were in the beginning that matters a lot. Because, and I know that that's like a really heavy thing to say, because I know that the comeback to that is that, well, people can change. People can evaluate new data. They can change their mind. And you don't want to punish people for changing their mind. Like if you know someone who's bad on a topic and they get good on the topic, you should applaud them getting good on the topic. It's good that people can change for the better. My issue is that with a lot of these just foundational issues, if you were bad on it like 2 years ago and you're magically good on it now, it tells me that you may have had a change of heart based on some new data or some new study, but you didn't really have any principled stance against it. You were perfectly fine with the state doing what it was doing. You don't have an issue with them having the power to do it. You just think they were incorrect. That's not good enough. That's being a reform candidate right there, is thinking that, well, I don't have a problem with the CIA murdering people that say the wrong thing. We just need to make sure they only murder the right people. Mm-hmm. That's what I hear when I hear him talk.
Oof. Yeah, that's that about sums it up for me, man. And yeah, I am one of those people where I definitely had a more of a bad opinion in the early days of COVID. And I think, though, the government, one thing they've done good at is decaying public trust in public health officials. Because at first I'm trying to like sit there and go to the source and figure stuff out. But then like when it's like bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, eventually I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. And the person I would recommend the most is Brett Weinstein. Like, just look at all the people that he's interviewed and you'll get a pretty good picture of COVID, pharmaceutical companies and all that. I think early days, though, a major red flag line in the sand was when they're stopping like church gatherings. And we're talking like outdoors. They're having church services where families were in their own separate cars. And then like these government boot people are trying to shut them down. And you're kind of thinking, wasn't there some kind of like bill of things that had some kind of right here that involves people gathering together like that? Isn't that weird that they're just throwing that out because of, it's inaccurate to say the cold because it's a virus, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's so important for people to remember that it was never about any one person. Like when the Coast Guard people went out and got the one guy on a surfboard alone on the beach because he wasn't, he wasn't wearing a mask or whatever. Like it was never about the science or that. It was about that they can't let anyone dissent, because if they do, then the other plebs will see them doing it. And if they get away with it, then that'll make more of the sheep think, oh, well, maybe it's okay. Maybe I can stand up and speak out for myself. They can't allow that. So that's why when even one person or one group steps out of line, they got to come down on them hard. Yeah. Remember the Jews in New York that, I mean, they went hard against that stuff. So they were still having congregations meet and stuff in New York of all places. And I mean, they were cracking skulls. They were sending the jackboots in there to go after these guys. And it's like, do you know, just the visual of that, right? Like, it's like, do you see what you're doing? You know, like,
that's bad optics.
Like, these people are literally getting their social media army to tell all of us that like the Orthodox Jews are Nazis because they're not doing what the government tells them. That is unironically what they're telling people on Twitter. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, people, this is my last terrifying revelation on this. Governments are very familiar with the psychology of this stuff. And if you look in UK, where they told people like they can't walk more than 2 miles from their home or something, like it was like just preposterous policy. They purposely will send out female officers to go baton and beat the shit out of people because they know that psychologically, as Michael Malice would say, it's weaponizing people's good nature. Psychologically, we don't want to like hit a woman and stuff. So they purposely will send out these female officers to do these reprehensible things because they know it's less likely that people are going to fight back. That's what we're up against.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Derek, there was like 5 or 6 more things I wanted to talk to you about, but we're out of time.
We are.
Well, I hope we've learned something.
Yeah, actually, we were out of time like 3 minutes ago, so I feel really bad.
I was trying to tell you.
Yeah. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. I don't.
You're not looking at me.
I can't see you. I can only see Derek. Jesus.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I was. So you couldn't see me. I'm like.
Yeah. Your point. Yeah, your wrist. Okay. Are you threatening to punch me? Is that what that is?
No. That's
all right.
Look at the time.
Yeah. If you don't end the show, I'm gonna fist you. That's what Dave just said.
Well, there's that too.
So Derek, will you stick around for the after party for a minute?
Yes, and we'll talk about the dangers of fisting.
Okay, we'll talk about the dangers of fisting and slave labor in the after party. But until then, guys, we're gonna be back to wrap up the show right after this commercial break. Don't go away.
If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley.
Like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Alan Mosley TV. You can follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/Alan Mosley TV. Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/Alan Mosley TV. Also, we're on a free speech platform. Go and support us on Odyssey. It's odyssey.com/It's Too Late with Alan Mosley, Alan Mosley TV. If you're a listener, then a watcher, then you won't get the 9/11 meme, but you will get to hear the show thanks to Spotify Podcasts. And also, don't forget, code ITL at foxandsons.com for 18% off orders of $25 or more. Derek, do you have a final thought?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Right?
I would say if you're going to remake a TV show or movie series, do something new, original, unique, and add something to it. Or else, in the words of Simon Cowell, you are a bad impersonator. I'm talking to you, Disney.
Damn.
That was good. Man.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah. Thanks for showing Dave how it's done. Now, Dave, you've had an extra 30 seconds. Do you have a final thought?
I didn't actually think I had to do it. I thought Derek was going to do it. So, we had fun. That was good. Thanks for picking up any of the slack where I kind of zoned out. It's fun hanging out with another person. Takes a little bit of the pressure off of me. You got somebody else to talk to.
Don't forget.
It's a fun show.
You're here forever. Yep. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of It's Too Late. And we will see you next week.
And remember, people, strippers are people too.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, but you don't have to kill them because they're already dead.
Yeah, don't do that. That's rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already got the pregnancy stab mark.
Oh my god.
Well, they do if you go to the lower class places like me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to remember to add Derek Cam into the monologue scene when we come back so that we can continue this riveting conversation.